Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jess Farrell from Weather Matrix, AccuWeather.com, the Pennsylvania Weather Watchers group. We're doing some tech reviews today. This is a haul from Schumacher, who makes various power supplies, including battery backups, jump starters, flashlights, things like that. So let's get started and see what we got here. Folks, there's something really neat here. This is the Schumacher Instant Power Unit. This thing has saved my butt I don't know how many times. Basically, in my car, the dinger that used to ding when the lights were on when you left the car doesn't work anymore. So every freaking day I leave my lights on, drain the car battery. Well, you put this guy in here. Just keep this guy in your trunk. All you have to do is very simple. It's got jumper cables here. You hook the red to the positive on your dead battery. You hook the black to a ground on your engine block. You turn it on. And then you go back in your car and start her up. It's as simple as that. It's actually, I find it actually simpler than using standard jumper cables because there's only two connections, so it's nice and easy and safe. And the best part is you don't have to call somebody up to come out and tow you. Now, you get one tow from a towing company, you're going to pay close to $100. So this thing's paid for itself. Like I said, I've left my stupid lights on 10 times in the last couple months and had to plug this in. Now, in addition, of course, it's got DC outlets, it's got AC outlets, it's got a light so you can see what you're doing if this is at night, which is quite helpful. 120 volt inverter for the cigarette lighter items there. And to charge it, you just plug it into a regular outlet. So it's really neat. I've just had so much success with this. I definitely keep it in my car all the time. There's a number of products at Schumacher that are similar to this, and I definitely recommend that everyone keep one of these in their car because it just makes your life a lot easier. This is the LED rechargeable road flare. Now, of course, you know, in the old days when we talked about road flares, they were those semi-dangerous things that the police put out during a traffic accident that basically burn fire in the middle of the road. So that's not awesome. But these days, I'm just going to open this up real quick. These days you have rechargeable LED, very bright and neat, I think, road flares. So this is what it looks like. Pretty sure they featured this in a movie recently as some sort of alien technology. It does kind of look like it, doesn't it? I don't know why, but this thing just tickles me pink. This is the road flare. Here's the different settings you can put it on. I mean, you can imagine you put that on the side of your car. You know, if you've been in an accident or you're pulled over to the side of the road, that's going to be great. Keep people from running into you. You got strobe mode here. You've got all these different modes you can put the light in. I guess I just kind of like things that glow too, but this is one of my favorite things from the Schumacher haul right here, I think. So there's various modes that you can put that road flare into. So that's really neat. And the other thing I should mention, I guess I could turn out the light here so you can see the flare better. But one more thing to mention is that this flare is magnetic, so you can literally stick it to the side of your car. It's got a couple of other mounting options. It's just so much better than the old dangerous flame type road flares that they have. Love this thing. Buy 10 of them. And this thing is really neat. This is the Schumacher Storm700, quite appropriately. This is a dual battery pack that can be used to, in the case of power emergency, to pretty much power anything you need. It'll power a refrigerator up to 4 hours. There's a number of other specs I'll give you in the blog. But this thing's got AC power, it's got USB power. The readout here does various things, tells you when the AC is on, the USB is on. You can check your battery percentage on here to make sure that everything's charged up. Charges with a standard plug in the back. This is it. It's about 2 feet tall. Has a nice handle on it. It's got wheels in the back, and the AC plug's in the back there too. You've got your AC outlets here. I got your DC outlet there as well. And, you know, this thing is going to handle your modem or router for probably 3 days if the power goes out. So if you have cable internet, you got a shot at being online that whole time. You plug something in like a refrigerator, it's going to last 4 hours, and then anything in between, radios, TVs, smaller household items in between, it can last you a day or two. So the next power outage, you got the Schumacher Storm700. You are super prepared. Next up is another Red Fuel 360 work light magnetic torch. I want to explain to you why they call this 360. Let me give you a demo here. This is the actual device. So I've turned on the flashlight in the front, and now I can actually use this to turn around any way that I want. I can even go outwards or upwards with it. So this is a great work tool here. Then the other light is on the front, and there again I've got a hook to hang it on. I'll turn that off because it's too bright, and again I can adjust the angle, adjust the exactly where it's pointing. So that's how those 360 Schumacher lights work. Red Fuel jump starter. Now what this is, it has it's a relatively small unit, but it has the jump starter cables on it. It's got a 2 amp USB port as well. A scrolling digital display. I mean, this is really a small unit that you could keep in your car with you to do the quick jump start. Says it'll last. You can also, of course, plug your smartphone into the USB port during a power outage. So you want to keep this thing charged up if there's bad weather headed your way. It'll actually keep charging your cell phone for probably 5 days. Next up is the Red Fuel Rechargeable Spotlight Lantern, and once again, this is something you're going to want to keep in your car or your house in case of power outage. It's 120 lumens, 1800 milliamps. So how do you charge the thing up? Well, it's got a crank. It's got the survival crank, and there's no other power available. It also plugs in your car's 120 volt cigarette lighter, and also standard AC adapter. I'll just take a quick look here. This is a really neat unit, I think. This is just a really neat looking device. It almost looks like it's got a joystick on it here. But so you got your power there. This is your crank. Here's the actual light. It's very bright, extremely bright. Blinding to the cell phone camera, I'm sure. It's got a very bright light. The handle has a little swivel on it here. I'll show you. We can turn that around, and we can basically operate it like a vertical flashlight. And you've also got the lantern capability. If you just want to sit it around the house during power outage, you can turn on the lantern. It's got a pretty standard 12 or 20 volt adapter there, and standard AC adapter. Both of those plug right into the back. Okay, let's see what else we got next in the Schumacher haul here. We've got the Red Fuel 360 LED cordless work light and magnetic torch. Yes, I said magnetic torch. 300 lumen light, lasts for about 210 minutes, has 2200 milliamps for charging purposes. So this is a nice little spotlight that you can use in case of a power outage, or if you need to work out in your garage, you can use this as a little spotlight. It's pretty neat. It's just a standard Schumacher 15 amp power converter. This is, you plug this into the wall and then plug your 12 volt items into it. So that's kind of neat if you have something in the car that you need to use in the house. Also in a Schumacher haul, this is really neat. This is one of my favorite products, I think. This is actually a jump starter that literally fits in your purse. The biggest part of this thing is the actual jump start cables that come with it. It's just unbelievable. It'll jump start 20 times. It's got 2 amp and 1 amp USB ports, of course. Ultra safe, smart cables, and a built-in LED light. It's just amazing that we've come to the time in technology where you can just throw one of these in your glove compartment or your purse and be jump starting your car at any time. Really neat. Next up is the Red Fuel 360, which oddly enough is green, but it's got 1500 milliamps. It's a LED cordless work light as well. Next up is the Schumacher turbo fan. This plugs into your cigarette lighter in your car. I found last year when I lost the air conditioning in my car that it was really painful to deal with just a little tiny fan blowing the hot air in the car. So this is an excellent use for that. It's also obviously good use for truckers, RVs, and that sort of thing.